Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today's February the 6th, 2022. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500, where we left off last week, and some targets going into next week. I'm also going to be taking a look at four stocks that are ready to move higher. Names like Facebook that reported earnings, Google, DWAC, and Snap, which had an eventful Thursday and Friday, dropping down 20% and then gaining 60%. Before we get started, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we do release videos every single week, so be sure to subscribe and click that ticker right there. All right, guys. We do have the S&P 500 chart here. As you guys can see here, we did hold that $4,300 line, which was what I was looking at last week. I did want to hold that. We do have strong support at that $4,300 line here, right? Multiple candlestick wicks representing buyers stepping in, reminiscent to this area right here back on August and September, where buyers did step in once again, right? Strong week. I did want to see a break above 4,500 and most importantly 4,550 to create that trend line change, right? We did drop below that on this huge drop in the beginning of January, and then we saw us pushing all the way to 4,600 before we finally saw a rejection. We did have a lot of earnings going in. Like I said, we did have Facebook, we did have Google, Amazon, so that really pushed the market to these highs before we saw a small little correction and the close right at $4,500, which to me wasn't bullish, but it wasn't bearish either. Sort of neutral, but leaning towards bullish, right? Last week, I was more bearish because we were trending around these lows right here. So I was hoping that we did bounce, right? And we did have that $4,600 rejection. So going into next week, in order to complete that trend change, we do want to stay above 4,550, which is the main hurdle right here back on September. So staying above that to me is important. And then my first target would be that test of $4,600 and getting above that. As long as we can get above that, we are going to be trending sideways for a bit, right? From $4,600 all the way to $4,700. As you guys can see here, we do have a lot of price action within that range. So first things first, get above 4,550, then $4,600. And that to me, it would make the market sentiment bullish, right? So that's what I'm looking at next week. Now to the downside, $4,500 is support. So going into Monday, I would like to stay above that. If we can't, we do have that critical support at 4,450. And to me, that's like that bottleneck area where you want to get above that and stay above that the whole time. Below that, you're pretty much, you're flirting with these areas right here, $4,300. So breaking below 4,450 is a danger zone. So if we get below that, we're looking at areas of $4,400 and $4,300 once again, where buyers did step in. All right, that's my views on the S&P 500. Got to get above that 4,550 area going into next week. As I said, I do have four names that I want to discuss. And these are names that we trade at Wealthy Mentor Trading on Discord. So if you're interested in trading with us, we do have a $99 promo right now for 2 months, and that entails spring trading, options trading, day trading, along with analyst upgrades, downgrades, and a whole community with people that could definitely help you out. And I'm on there 24/7, so it's definitely a place where you can grow and learn as a trader. All right, the link is in the bio for that. So the first name that I wanted to discuss going in was Facebook. Now, Facebook did report earnings, and I am going to switch you over here to the weekly chart to give you guys a clear picture. As you guys can see here, we did have a pretty bearish earnings, right? We bombed on earnings. We dropped 27%, and we are at that June 2020 highs around this area right here. And we are also oversold on the weekly RSI. So this was a big push down on Facebook. It was one of the biggest declines that I've seen, right? Going into next week, I'm definitely looking above that 244, 254 area. I am going to switch over here to the daily chart to give you guys a better picture right here, right? So what I want to look for in basically a bounce on Facebook is to get over that 244 area, right, for a potential push to 254, right, which is the bottom of this consolidation zone on February 2021, right? And if we can get a push, my second target would be that 264 area, which again is that consolidation area to the very top of it. So as long as we get up over 244, I am bullish on Facebook for a bounce, for a short-term bounce, for take profit targets at 254 and 264, which is that consolidation area. Now, if we do see a move higher, I'm looking at the top of this area right here back on February 2021, which is that 277 area, right? And at that point, if we do have a strong bounce here, we do have this major gap fill that was left for this earnings bomb. Now, to the downside, if we do have a bearish week, and let's just say the markets drop below 45.50, right, 4,400 and whatever, right, you do want to see that 230 support line hold. If we cannot hold that, our next area of support is that 209 area. So if we do see a break below 230 and the market is selling off, shorting opportunities down to 209 is highly possible. All right. So that's my views on Facebook. Overall, we are going to trend here for a bit, and it all depends on how the market is, right? If we get above that 45.50 area, $4,600 that we rejected on the S&P 500, we're definitely going to see the tech sector move up. So keep your eyes on Facebook for that bounce, and pretty much a good scalping opportunity, right? If you are a trader. A next name that I want to discuss is DWAC, DWAC, another name that we trade on the daily at Wealthy Mentor Trading. And I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour chart. So if you guys don't know what this name is, this is one of Donald Trump's media outlets. You know, as you guys know, he was banned from Twitter, and he decided to start his own little media, Twitter resemblance, right? Something along those lines. So this name has been gaining traction. As you guys can see here, we did have a major pop at $175, right? It was a big bubble pop right here, and we have been consolidating ever since that area back on October 2021. We finally saw some price action starting January this year, and we have been moving higher. We got a rejection at that $90 to $94 area, right? And then we pushed down, holding that $62 area. Now, to me, this stock is significant as we are at that area of an entry point for me. So I am looking for an entry above $80 to $90, right? For a potential squeeze to 98 and 110. Now, this name is going to be gaining a lot of traction coming up. It did gain 18% this week alone, so that is significant. But also, his release, Donald Trump's release, is rumored to be going out on February the 21st, 2022. So I'll be looking for this stock to move higher going into that date. So definitely keep this on your watch list, as this can definitely squeeze past that $85 area, $90 area for my entry, all the way to that 110 area as I've drawn out right here. So it's one of those names that is in the news quite a bit, especially for day traders. It has been gaining traction, especially with names like Donald Trump attached to it. It's definitely going to gain traction, and especially for a guy like Trump, where he's going to be pushing to be a president again, right? He's very confident, and names like Twitter and Facebook and all that type of stuff have banned him. So he started his own media outlet, and this name is the name to watch if you are a trader and if you're all looking for a crazy price swing. So above $90, look for targets of 98 and 110, as I've drawn out here in green. Now, if we cannot break $85, which is the first area that I'm going to be looking at, right, for that change, you have $80 as support. We did bounce here once, right, on the 4-hour time frame, and if we can't get, if we can't hold 80, $78 is that second area, and obviously we have that 74.50 area where after we got a rejection of 85, it held 74.5 before now at that retest of $85. So watch $90 going into tomorrow for potential squeeze going into that February 22 date, as I mentioned. All right. Another name that's important to me, Google, right? Google reported their earnings, and they had a pretty good one, right? Here we are on the 4-hour chart. We were down here due to the market sell-off around that 25.68 area, 26.8 area, and we consolidated here, and it looked like a bear flag, right? Here was the flagpole, and here was the flag itself, and I was looking for a continuation pattern all the way down. However, we did not get that. We did have a nice bounce here due to the earnings beat, and we pushed all the way to the highs of 30.58 before closing and settling down at that 28.50 area where buyers did step in. As you guys can see here, this long wick represents buyers stepping in and closing above this area. So, you know, Google moved up as much as 12%. As I said, it did pull back. We do have that high of 30.58. So what I'm looking at going into next week is that 29.26 area, right? A break above that, I'm pretty much looking at that high of 30.58 on that earnings beat to get tested once more. So above 29.26, 29.80 is my target number one, and my second target is that 3,000 to 3,058, right? I'll really want to test that area out again, right? Especially since Google also announced that they are having a 20-to-1 stock split, which makes it more affordable to people to get into Google, and that was their main concern, right? They wanted people to be able to afford their shares, right? Being at $3,000, it is a deterrent. So splitting the stock $20 to $1 will give you basically a $150 Google, right? And for a lot of people, that is a great entry area. So Google is going to be bullish for the time being, and that stock split is going to take place in Q2. So it's going to have some time. So definitely look for a run up all the way to that area where it is going to be splitting into 20 pieces, basically. So first things first, 29.26 going into the next week is an area for me. Now to the downside, if we cannot hold that 28.55 area, we're definitely going to retest this 27.87 area where it was the breakout point on this earnings beat and a consolidation point where we couldn't break it, right? When we dropped down here, right? We moved up here, we dropped down to this line, tried to go back and retest it, but it was just so weak that we dropped further. So 27.06 is that area for me, right? If we cannot hold 28.55, my target number one for puts is that 27.87, and the second area is that 27.06, right? Multiple support areas right here, one right here, back on January the 19th, 2022. Again, right here, a bounce on the 7th of January. And if you want to go as far as 2021 October, we did hold support at this area as well. So 27.06 if we do get a pullback, and these are your targets for puts. All right. Another name that had a significant week, and that was Snap, right? Snap dropped down as much as 25%. Here it is on the weekly chart, right? 20% drop on Snap, holding that $24 line here. And then earnings popped up on Thursday after the bell, and it soared 60% to open up Friday, which was insane, right? It did have strong guidance for their upcoming quarter, so analysts did like that. They did also upgrade the stock, uh, which is pretty bullish. Majority of the analysts did upgrade the stock, so look for Snap to continue to gain momentum. So what am I looking at going into next week? I'm looking at that $43 area, right? Which is that middle ground and that area where we broke trends, right? This was the uptrend right here, and is that area where we broke that trend. So above $43, I am looking for a take profit and a push to 47.50, right? Which is the bottom of these candles right here. This is support, previous support, now is resistance on the way up, right? So if we break $43, 47.50 is an area for take profit. Now, if we continue to see volume, strong volume, and great market conditions, my second take profit target is that 57.5 area, right? Where it was previous support right here. And it was the major breakdown candle right here back on October 2021. So I am looking for these areas to get retested, right? Above $43, 47.50 is your take profit number one, and 57.50 is your take profit number two. Now to the downside, we do have that support level of $24 where we did hit on that earnings drop, and it was a nice bounce area. So if we cannot hold that, we're pretty much going down to $20 to test this consolidation area before the breakout, right? So $24 is a support line. $20 is the next area where you could see a sell-off on Snap. Now, overall, I am not bullish on Snap. I do want to see that break above $43. And if you want to be even more of a cautious trader, look for $47.50 to break for a push to that 57.50 area. All right, guys. Those are 4 stocks that are ready to move higher this week. Snap, as I just discussed right here, look for that continued bounce and that momentum, right? That's what you want to see in stocks, momentum, follow that. Google, strong earnings. You want to get above that 29, 26 area to retest those, you know, earnings push that all the way to that 30.58 area. Retest that. They do have the stock split. That's important. DWAC, the Donald Trump fueled media group, you know, it is coming up for that social. It's called Truth Social, and it's on February 21st, 2021. So look for that name to gain traction. Along with Facebook, they did drop a significant amount. They are oversold on the weekly time frame, so look for that bounce above 244, 254 area, right? For that nice percentage gain on Facebook if you want to scalp. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye.